Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with an updated deck profile, and today I'll be showing you guys my Igknights. So yesterday I actually did pick up all the rest of the cards that I did need to finish up this deck, so you're not going to see any proxies like you did with the last video with the two Templars. I actually do have the three Templars on hand, finish up the rest of what I needed for the side deck, finish up the extra deck as well, and tweak the deck a little bit since the last build, so I figured I'd give you guys this updated version. So starting off with the monsters, we of course have the free World Magical Library. I personally play free because for the main deck, I'm all about consistency with getting to the lockdown turn one of Tyrant's Rose and/or Vanity's Emptiness. Also, going second, this also just helps you accumulate cards to where you can hopefully OTK your opponent as well. So playing free just means that hopefully you'll increase your odds of seeing it because it just is a very powerful card in this build. Then for the Ignites, we have the free Paladin, free Templar, the free Cavalier, probably the best one just because he has the most attack at 2400. The free Margrave, free Gallant, and then finally the free Veteran who has the most defense at 2700. So that's it for monsters. For spells, we have the triple Summoner's Art to search out our 5s and 6s. Where's that? Oh, there it is. Yeah. The free Chicken Game, along with the free Upstart Goblin to speed up our deck. The two Painful Decisions, since we lost two Rhoda from the last fan list, and we need more ways to search out our Paladins and Templars. Then for one-os, we have the One Ignition Phoenix, probably the most underrated card in the deck because it can really help you further your plays. There's a lot of times where just destroying one scale to get another scale can be very useful just to fill up your extra deck even more. Then obviously giving your Ignites an extra 300 boost can be very powerful, especially under Tyrant's Rose to go for those OTKs. Then one thing I did change is I added in a 1 day apiece. Biggest reason for this is this meta is going towards one that's very OTK oriented, especially with like Pepe and Cosmo. So a card with 1 day apiece that, while it does give your opponent a card along with yourself, gives you an extra, buys you an extra turn, is very good right now. At least in my opinion, for an OTK-oriented meta. And it is another draw card that hopefully will increase your odds of getting to your Tyrant's Rose or Vanity's Emptiness. Then we have Reinforcements to the Army, and finally the one Terraforming. So now to round out with the traps. Starting off, we have the triple Tyrant's Rose. As I said in the last deck profile, definitely the best card in the deck, just because it completely stops your opponent from doing anything at all. Just at the cost of tributing two monsters, which of course you can bring back next turn for your Pendulum Summons. Tyrant's Rose overall is just a really incredible card and can just absolutely win you games. Along with the one Vanity's Emptiness, just another lockdown floodgate card that hopefully you can get Karen Gorgon out to protect and just kind of lock down the game from there. I did take out the Skill Drain to put in 1 day apiece. Biggest reason for that is with this meta, when you consider Pepe and Cosmo, Skill Drain's not really that great against them because with Cosmo, they still have a 3000 beater with a Dark Destroyer that floats. All their ships float pretty much, and then with Pepe, even though you do negate their effects, they're still pretty easily able to get out big beaters. So I mean, Skill Drain doesn't do a whole lot for you. Plus, it's the card that kind of stops you from going into your own extra deck and summoning a monster like Karen Gorgon that can protect it. So that's why I did cut it for the 1 day apiece, just to increase the consistency of getting to one of these cards, which more easily lock out the game. So that's it for the main deck. Total of 40 cards. It's 21 monsters, 15 spells, and 4 traps. Now on to the side deck. So starting off, we have the free Doggeran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. You're probably asking yourself why I would play such a random card here in the side deck. I'll give you a few reasons. Number one, there's Materia Beast, there's Apex Avian, there's Spell Canceller, there's Mechanical Hound, there's Dark Destroyer, just a bunch of cards that can really give this deck a problem and are hard for this deck to get over, that Doggeran can just easily get over if you draw it in your opening hand, because nothing hurts worse with this deck than going against Pepe and them going first and making a Materia Beast on you. And Doggeran, if you draw it within your first 6 cards, can be an easy answer to that and just allow you to go into your plays. And the reason why I picked Doggeran over any of the other Kaijus is because of his stat line. He has 1200 defense, which means you can special summon him on your opponent's side of the field in defense mode, and he's very easy to beat over if you don't have a way to get him off the field. and he's also 3,000 attack, which means if you have a Doggeran like already in your opponent's side of the field and you have another in hand, you can just special summon your own Doggeran and have a 3,000 beer that can help you push for damage. Or if you're playing against Kaiju, you can just summon a Doggeran and use that as a beater. So that's why I did pick Doggeran over the other ones, and it's just there to remove problematic cards. Then we have the free damage juggler. As I mentioned before, this is all about stopping Wavering Eyes. It's also good against any rogue burn decks you'll go against, and can also just keep you from being OTK'd as well, since it does stop any kind of damage by discarding it. Then we have the free Wavering Eyes, of course against any other of those pendulum matchups that you go against. The free MST for Floodgates. Then for one-ofs we have the 1 Regeki, 1 Solemn Warning, and finally the 1 Torrential Tribute. So now to wrap it up with the extra deck. So starting off with 4s, we have Abyss Dweller, Karen Gorgon, Castel, Diamond Dire Wolf, Cowboy. Igknight Pearl is one of the new additions to the extra deck. Actually, there's a funny story with this, with Igknight Pearl. I was going against Greg's Psy-Frames yesterday, and I had Tyrant's Throws up with like a good bit of my Igknights on board, and he actually had a set monster, so he tributed a set monster for the Psy-Frame driver, the vanilla that's 2500, and next turn I looked at my extra deck and I'm just like, shoot, if I had a Igknight Pearl I could win the game right now, because you can actually summon Igknight Pearl under Tyrant's Throws since it is a non-effect monster, so that is part of the reason why I put it in here. Obviously, your Igknights, if you don't have the field spell, which at the time I didn't since I'd already used it and it went to the graveyard, your highest one is 2400 with Cavalier, so Igknight Pearl can just be a nice thing, a nice beater to summon under Tyrant's Throws. Can get you out of a sticky situation sometimes if you just need a little bit more attack. Then we have Heroic Champion Excalibur, number 101, and finally number 86. Again, going back to facing Greg's Psy-Frames, which I did end up beating him in some pretty good games. I had to literally attempt 4 different times to summon number 86 until I was finally able to get it on board, which was the first time in my life I was actually able to get a number 86 on board. Because his Psy-Frames, he's just able to easily respond to my summons. He had trap cards a couple times, then there was 2 other times where he would just chain his guys from hand and instant synchro summon. So number 86, was hard to get out, but once I did, it pretty much ended the game there because it's just such a strong card with 5 materials, and actually relatively easy to summon in this deck with 5 materials. Then for 5s, we have Artifact Durendal. Obviously good when you're going for the OTKs and don't want to run into things like Mirror Force and Torrential. Number 61, Volcasaurus, and then Shark Fortress to push for more damage. For 6s, we have Gauntlet Launcher. I had considered maybe getting a Constellar Ptolemy M7 because it's a pretty decent rank 6, or even Gaia Dragon, but honestly Gaia Dragon only adds a little bit more damage, so it's not really that needed. And Constellar Ptolemy M7 only bounces 1 card, and it doesn't really do a whole lot for you as far as recycling cards from grave because you don't really care about that too much. But I like Gauntlet Launcher because against say Pepe, you can just summon this, blow up 2 of their monsters, and really free up some space to go for more damage. Then we have number 39, Utopia Beyond, and finally Photon Strike Bouncer, which is basically a giant hand as a rank 6 that also burns. So that's it for the updated version of Igknights for the November 2015 ban list. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.